Good morning. I'm Marge, a Unity in Lynnwood prayer chaplain. I'm happy to welcome all of you this morning for our time of silent meditation. Whether you are here in our chancel or in our virtual online community, it is a sacred gift to share the powerful frequency of meditation together. So I invite you to settle comfortably in your chair or couch or wherever you are sitting. Allow your body to relax, just letting go of cares or concerns on your mind, of the busyness of the day to come, of any responsibilities that weigh heavy. Let Spirit speak through your heart as you enter the silence of meditation. invite you to slowly bring your attention back to this time and this place, gently opening your eyes and becoming fully present. Please join me as we bless Dr. Richard, Reverend Nina, and Matthew and the richness they bring to this service. And we bless the many people who contribute to this special time together. Blessings to everyone here in our chancel and those of you in our virtual congregation. And so it is.
At this table, everyone is welcome. At this table, everyone is seen. At this table, everybody matters. No one falls between. At this table, you can say whatever. At this table, you can speak your mind. At this table, everything's forgiven. There's enough for everyone. So come as you are. Remember that the door is always open. Yes, come as you are. The perfect gift that you can bring is your heart. So come as you are. At this table, there will be no judgment. At this table, mercy has a seat. At this table, we're all sons and daughters. There's no place I'd rather be. So come as you are. Remember that the door is always open. Yes, come as you are. The perfect gift that you can bring is your heart. So come as you are. Come as you are. At this table, everyone is welcome. At this table, everybody cares. At this table, everybody matters. So come, pull up a chair. Welcome. It's great to see you all. Thank you so much. If you need to get up and move a little bit, it's okay. It's okay. I dreamt I was born a child, living alone in the wild, passing the hours away. I looked into the face of sorrow, tempted by the taste of tomorrow and the scent of yesterday. That was only a dream of a dream. This world is not what it seems. We are the wind that carries the seeds. We are the roots of the banyan tree. We are love offered on the wing that stretches across eternity. We are recording life's symphony. We are the silent awakening. That was only a dream of a dream. This world is not what it seems. We are the wind that carries the seeds. We are the roots of the banyan tree. We are love offered on the wind that stretches across eternity. We are recording life's symphony. We are the silent awakening. I dreamt that I could not find you. Always was a step behind you. Could not see your face. Wandering around the of illusions, dusty haze, a soul with no resting place. That was only a dream of a dream. This world is not what it seems. We are the wind that carries the seeds. We are the roots of the banyan tree. We are love offered on the wing that stretches across eternity. We are recording life's symphony. We are the silent awakening. That was only a dream of a dream. This world is not what it seems. We are the wind that carries the seeds. We are the roots of the banyan tree. We are love offered on the wing that stretches across eternity. We are recording life's symphony. We are the silent awakening. Only love can lift the veil away. Only love can take its place. I have traveled long and far just to come home to your grace. That was only a dream of a dream. This world is not what it seems. We are the wind that carries the seeds. We are the roots of a banyan tree. We are love offered on the wing that stretches across eternity. We are recording life's symphony. We are the silent awakening. That was only a dream of a dream. This world is not what it seems. We are the wind that carries the seeds. We are the roots of the banyan tree. We are love offered on the wing that stretches across eternity. We are recording life's symphony. We are the silent awakening.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning. Turn to someone that is seated near you and just say, "Welcome to Unity in Lynnwood," please. And then be courageous enough to turn to yet another person and say, "Welcome to Unity in Lynnwood." Welcome to Unity in Lynnwood. You know, in the olden days, we believed in an intercessory God who would insert himself into the middle of human affairs. We've come to realize that indeed prayer has far more to do with the quality of self we bring to life, that the givingness that is God is not subject to human opinion, that it is indeed fully given in every moment. So let's close our eyes. Let us commit then at the beginning of this time together to bringing the very highest self to the givingness that is God. Let's take a deep breath together and let us entertain the noble possibility that the wisdom that is God is in the fullness of its givingness right here and now. And so I say yes to that. Let's entertain the noble suggestion that the sufficiency that is God is in the fullness of its givingness here and now. And so we begin by saying yes to that. Let's entertain the audacious idea that the life that is God, a life that is not defined by human matters such as dates, apparitions, appearances, opinions. Let's entertain that audacious idea that the life that is God is in its full givingness here and now. And let's say yes to that. Indeed, let's begin our time together by saying yes to all that we hold God to be, by providing the fullest container for the infinite to use. To this I say yes. And so it is. Our youth have just returned from an event that they call Rally. Two of them have joined us today to tell us a little bit about that experience and to otherwise demonstrate their commitment to a unified community. Will you welcome, please, Zeno and Ace?
My name is Zena,
And my name is Eyck.
and we just got back from Rally, and we're with the teens of Youth of Unity.
Which is pretty much a high school group for the kids here at Unity.
So we're going to talk about Rally. The theme this year was Sacred Moments, which was basically being in the present, not worrying about the past or the future.
And noticing the little things in that present. And Rally is pretty much a camp that lasts a few days in the spring, where it's just a bunch of YOU groups from a lot of different Unity churches.
Some things that happened at Rally were Spirit Share, which is like a talent show you can present to everyone there, and it's super fun.
Also, there was a dance, which was pretty much just a party with everyone hanging out and dancing and having fun.
Speaking of camps, we have another one coming up in August called Rendezvous, and we also have a lock-in for the Uniteens and YOUs coming up.
If you are interested in joining YOU at all, I would highly recommend it. It is a very fun group of people. And if you want more information, you can contact Stacy, who is the manager of our group.
Director of our group. You can contact her by contacting the church at any time. YOU is super fun and super inclusive.
And we hope to see you there.
Thank you for that warm invitation, Zeno and Ace. My mother had the audacity to call me Richard. Zeno and Ace, I love that. Let me also be clear that within the context of their warm and inclusive invitation, YOU is an abbreviation for the youth of Unity. And indeed, there is an age limit of 18. So keep that in mind, please, and thank you. Practical spirituality, welcoming community. It is a mission statement. It is so short in word, but it's so deep in content. Every week I like to support this mission statement with one of the values statements or one of the clarifying statements which we developed in conversation with your leadership teams in late 2014. Take a deep breath. Does this belong to you? It reads as follows: we teach the unity of all life, transcendent of culture, era, or religion, or lack thereof. Unity among all life, even with those people? Yeah, even with those people. Humanity is a grand experiment of diversity from unity. If you'd like to pray with someone following the conclusion of this time together, Unity in Lynnwood has trained prayer chaplains in eager support of you. Simply approach one of our chaplains following this time together to enjoy that experience. Our chaplains on duty today will now raise their hands that you might be able to identify them. Yes, it is with great gratitude that we acknowledge the gift you are to this community. If you are a member of our online audience and desire to pray with someone following the conclusion of this time together, start the process by writing prayer at unityinlynnwood.org. Include a working telephone number and expect a call from an anonymous caller shortly after noon. Are you nervous? She's nervous. Reverend Nina Clark is doing the lesson today, and she's on the front row just How about that? If you're a member of our online audience, please consider opening your chat window. Tell the many who have joined you where you're from. A link to the book referenced by Reverend Nina today will also be included in that chat box window. For those in our live audience, the Untethered Soul is available in our gift shop. Matthew and I have proudly been invited to collaborate with the leaders of Center for Spiritual Living Seattle in their fall CBEC retreat. If you are interested in learning more, please write administration@unityinlynnwood.org or visit our social media channels. Take a deep breath. Allow my voice to become yours. Allow this to serve as something of a second prayer, or simply speak it aloud with enthusiasm. The choice really is quite yours. Welcome to unity, we might say. Our words of invocation read, though imaged and named variously, there is a singular and eternal ground of being from which all life emanates and into which all life retreats. We choose to call this ground of being God. By extension, we come to understand that we are spiritual in nature, human in expression, and limitless in potential. We gather today to remember such truths, to celebrate our unity, and to honor all life. And so it is. And so it is.
And so it is.
And so it is. My name is Dr. Richard Loren Held. It is the honor of a human incarnation. It is the delight of my work week to serve as the spiritual director of what I like to call an evolving, unfolding idea of oneness and possibility. It is a further joy to share this experience with my colleague. She is the Associate Minister for Unity in Lynnwood, Washington. Her name is Reverend Nina Clark.
Good morning. Whoa, good morning. And I'd like to begin by saying that every single day, I thank you for the love and support and the unwavering commitment that you hold for the highest good of this community. Every day, I thank you for that. Oh, so there's a quote. Your spiritual awakening is the important thing. And this quote is attributed to our beloved co-founder, Myrtle Fillmore. Dr. Edward Viljoen, spiritual leader for the Centers for Spiritual Living, said during his March 8th morning devotional, on the surface, it looks like our teaching is about positive thinking, but it goes much deeper than that. Our teaching is about intentional, conscious, present awareness living. And that's ultimately the promise of the book that we'll be exploring together for the next 3 weeks, The Untethered Soul, to open the door to intentional, conscious, present awareness living. Doesn't that sound delicious? So if you're willing to take this journey with me, I invite you to consider that growth comes in layers. These ideas or words might sound familiar, but rather than meeting them with, I know that, I invite you to don beginner's mind and open to letting these ideas take you to a deeper place, a deeper layer, a deeper understanding. And I invite you to be open to having what you think you know changed or nuanced or expanded. And if at the end of our journey you find that your understanding hasn't really changed at all, then this journey will have served to validate what you know. But if at the end of this exploration that you find yourself in a different place than when we began, then in that case, this journey will have deepened your walk. And I'd like to let you know too that starting May 10th, Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m., I'll be hosting, facilitating an experiential discussion group based on this book. And I'm putting it out a week to give everybody a chance to read the first segment to catch up. So I invite you to come. It's going to be fun. We're going to have dessert, discussion, and experience what the concepts that he's talking about here. So I invite you all to join me. And registration is available online. So, as all journeys do, let's begin at a beginning. And I say a beginning because truly there is no beginning or ending in God. And in this case, we're going to begin with the ancient question, who am I? In New Thought, we would say, I am an individuation of God, of spirit, of presence. But what do we mean when we say that? Is this more of an intellectual understanding, or do we have a direct felt experience of that truth? I've also heard people answer the question, who am I, by saying that they are soul or spirit. But what do we mean when we say that? And some say that these words can be used interchangeably, while others say that they are clearly distinct from each other. Some people say, I am a soul, or I am a spirit. Others say, I have a soul. And some say, they refer to their soul as my soul, or my spirit, or your soul, your spirit. In answer to the question, who am I? Michael Singer teaches that we are conscious awareness. We are that which sees through our eyes, that which hears through our ears. And we are that which has been aware of every experience that we've had since we took our first earthly breath and before we took our first earthly breath. But most of us get sucked into the world of form, don't we? And we think that we're our thoughts, our self-concept, our emotions, our body, the sum total of our experiences, even when we intellectually say otherwise. Our self-concept is who we think we are, but we are not our self-concept. Our self-concept is based on the experiences that we've had, on programming instilled in us by parents, friends, teachers, society, but it is not who we are. Who we are is conscious awareness. And once we know that, by having a felt experience of this truth, then we can start to take more control of how we experience our lives. For most of us, how we determine or how we experience life is determined by our self-concept, by who or what we think we are, and by the beliefs that we have gathered as we live life. So Singer starts this journey of experiencing, of helping us to experience who we are by helping us to experience who we are not. He does this through the lens of subject and object. He says, if we can be aware of something, then we are not the something that we're aware of. We are the one who is aware. For example, if you look behind me out the window and you see the trees, you are aware of trees. You're not the trees. Anyone hear the trees out there? You're having an experience of trees. You're aware of trees. And the same thing could be said for a chair, a car, a rabbit, or a slice of New York-style pizza with lots of red sauce dripping with mozzarella cheese and pepperoni and mushrooms. You're not that. You're having an experience of those things, so you're not them. Are you how you describe yourself? For example, if you introduce yourself as a math teacher, are you a math teacher? What if you stopped being a math teacher? Would the same you still be in there, even if you changed jobs? Yes. And the you looking out through your eyes would still be the same you. Are we this body? Well, isn't the you that looked out through your eyes and saw a 20-year-old body in the mirror the same you that now sees an adult body in the mirror? Isn't the you that played Little League at 11 or starred in the school play or read Harry Potter 14 times the same you that is sitting here looking out through your eyes, hearing my words through your ears? This current you has experienced more life events, yes, and has perhaps more initials after your name, but isn't the you that looks out the same you? There is a continuity of beingness, a continuity of awareness of being. The same me, the same you, are the same who has had all of the experiences that we've had to date in our lives. So who am I? Are we our emotions, our feelings? No. We are the conscious awareness that experiences fear, love, joy, despair, awe. In Frank Herbert's novel, Dune, the Bene Gesserit, a religious sisterhood of powerful women, are taught a litany against fear. They believe that if humans are not capable of transcending fear, they are then doomed to be controlled by it and thus unable to ascend to a higher level of consciousness. And the litany is as follows. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings about total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. I love that it's in a sci-fi novel. These truths are in a sci-fi novel. The I in this litany is conscious awareness. The litany reminds the one who says it that I am not my fear. I am the one having an experience of fear. I allow the fear to pass, and I remain. So, are we the voice or the voices in our heads? Many of us identify with who we are with our minds, even if we think we don't. This voice is talking all the time, and if right now you're thinking, I don't have a voice in my head, that's the voice Singer's talking about. Perhaps you think you don't have a voice in your head until you sit down to meditate. You think it's all quiet in there until you put your rear end on the cushion, and then suddenly, wow, your mind is just racing away. But I invite you to think about the last time that you needed to have a stressful or important conversation with someone. Did you rehearse the conversation in your head in one of those circular dialogues while lying in bed at night, where you hear the same telling and retelling of some issue going round and round in your head and you can't shut it off so that you can go to sleep? Anyone ever done that? And who are you talking to anyway when you're having that circular conversation? Is it you talking to yourself? You're certainly not talking to the person that you're preparing to have that important or uncomfortable conversation with, because that person is across town in their bed, sleeping, or doing the same thing that you are. And I had to laugh, because as I was writing this talk, I could hear the voice in my head reading all the words out loud, as though I couldn't actually see them unfolding on the page in front of my eyes. It felt the need to narrate it to me. So Michael Singer tells us there is nothing more important to true growth than realizing that you are not the voice of the mind. You are the one who hears it. So, if we're not the mind, why does it talk so much? The mind is an interface between us and this level of existence. We can use it as a tool. We can use it intentionally. Try it now. Say to yourself, I am a perfect idea in the mind of God. Did it work? Could you make your mind say that? That is you using your mind. The ongoing narration is your mind doing the job that we assigned it a long time ago. And what job is that? According to Singer, a long time ago, we asked the mind to keep us safe. Most of us don't do well with pure, unfiltered reality just the way that it is. So our mind narrates the world in order to maintain our illusion of control. And it does so filtered through familiar past experiences and beliefs. Singer tells us you use it as a form of protection, a form of defense. Ultimately, it makes you feel more secure. And as long as that's what you want, you'll be forced to constantly use your mind to buffer yourself from life instead of living it. When we allow this, we don't experience the world. We experience the world based on our past experiences and beliefs. Our mind processes our current experiences through filters that make them fit with our views of the past and visions of the future. And our visions of the future are also heavily dependent on our experiences of the past. Michael Brown, author of the book The Presence Process, says it this way: what we are authentically isn't mind. We are eternal presence. Mind is the vehicle through which we interact with our transient human experience. It's composed of physicality, the body, mentality, our thoughts, and emotionality, our emotional states. So let's circle back to the question we started with. Who am I? Singer answers it this way: I am the one who sees. From back in here somewhere, I look out, and I am aware of the events, thoughts, and emotions that pass before me. If you go very deep, that is where you live. You live in the seat of consciousness. I think this first step of know thyself, knowing what you are versus what you are not, is a foundational one, because once we understand that we are conscious awareness and not our self-concepts, not our thoughts, not our emotions, our beliefs, our body, then we can take a step back and be aware of ourselves as the observer, because we now know who or what is doing the stepping back. So now that we know who we are, I need to hand you a few concepts all at once, because the second part of this was rather convoluted. So I'm going to give you a few concepts to hold, and then I'm going to weave them together. So the first concept is that spiritual energy is something that is unlimited and everywhere present. And there is a wellspring within us that we can draw and draw and draw from, and it never runs dry. And this energy has nothing to do with food or exercise or sleep. The second concept, we have energy centers within them, and you're likely familiar with them as chakras. You've heard them called chakras. These energy centers focus and distribute this flow of spiritual energy throughout our chakra system. A chakra controls the energy flow by opening and closing. And the one we're likely most familiar with is our heart chakra, because we all know what it feels like when we close or block our hearts. We might feel a tightness in our chests, or we'll feel shut down or constricted or even depressed. And we know what it feels like when our heart is open. We feel open, safe, trusting, and we can literally feel more energy flowing through our hearts. The third concept, when we have an experience in our lives that we didn't completely process or integrate, it actually creates a sort of energy knot inside of us. And Singer calls these samskaras. We store these inside of ourselves, and when they get stimulated by a current experience, the pain of the old experience inside of the samskara gets activated, and we respond by closing down our heart chakra. The fourth concept, awareness has the ability to focus on something to the exclusion of all else. Think about the last time you went to the movies, how you can be so absorbed that you actually forget that you're sitting in a movie theater. Or just imagine how focused you might be carrying a very full to the brim bowl of tomato soup across the very expensive, irreplaceable, imported, hand-woven carpet of a very dear friend. How focused might you be? Okay, so now let's weave these concepts together. Singer writes, as events take place in this world, they come in through your senses and have an impact on your inner state of being. The experience of these events may bring up some fear, some anxiety, or maybe some love. Different experiences happen inside because of how you take in and digest the world. I love that phrase, digest the world as it passes through you. When you take in the world through your senses, it is actually energy that is coming into your being. For the most part, we're designed so that most impressions from the outer world just pass right through us. Right now, as you sit here, for example, there is so much more happening in your field of awareness than just me talking. There are tree branches waving outside the window. Someone in the room might be crossing or uncrossing their legs. A car might be passing on the road outside. Birdsong outside of the windows. Someone might cough. It might start to rain. But unless you have something inside of you for one of those experiences to trigger, it just passes right through you as an experience. But when an experience stimulates a samskara, or samskara inside of us, or threatens our self-concept, our awareness gets drawn down to it, just like a movie, or just like that very full bowl of tomato soup. It's like it becomes the whole world, and we close down to protect that tender part of ourselves. And when we do this, we also block the flow of spiritual energy. The spiritual energy is still there, just like the sun on the other side of the clouds, but it can't get through our blocks. Our major struggles end up being with our own inner fears, insecurities, and destructive behavior patterns. And just about anything that triggers a particular memory or that threatens our self-concept can cause us to open or close. And I know you all are familiar with that you feel how you open and close depending on things. Smells, a name, food, a certain look on someone's face, a song, anything that triggers a past experience can cause us to open or close our hearts or our minds. And we close our hearts because we think it keeps us safe. But closing our heart doesn't really protect us from anything. It just cuts us off from that infinite source of energy, and it prohibits us from growing. Singer tells us, defining what you need in order to stay open actually ends up limiting you. If you make lists of how the world must be for you to open, you have limited your openness to those conditions. You are allowing your mind to create triggers that open and close you. So Singer counsels us to learn to stay open no matter what is happening in our lives, that it is better and ultimately safer to meet all situations with an open heart rather than a closed heart. In doing so, we remain open to a greater flow of spiritual energy that can support us in responding in ways that are not available to us when our hearts are closed. So the question is, how do you do that? How do we learn to stay open? He says, how we learn to stay open is really up to us. He says the ultimate trick to staying open is just not to close. By not closing, we learn to stay open. And it takes practice, that's for sure. Maybe start with easier moments. And when you master those, move on to the more challenging ones. Singer feels that nothing in life should be important enough for us to willingly close our hearts. And when something does happen that triggers us or threatens our self-concept, we should do the best we can to remember that we are not that pain, not that belief, to step back into our seat of consciousness and stay as open as we can. And over time, it will get easier and easier to stay open. Now, just in case it sounds like when we get to the point where all experiences just pass through us and we have no response to them, that is not what he's saying. Imagine going to the ocean or climbing a mountain or listening to soul-stirring music. If we are just fully present to the experience without the baggage of the past, without pain or expectations, or even past joys, we are fully open to this new experience, just as it is. We might hear or see or feel things that are the gift of just this singular and unique experience. Not comparing, not filtering, just a pure, new, present moment experience. It allows us to be fully and intentionally present to people and situations in ways that we can't imagine when we are limited by the past. And when we are able to stay open, Singer tells us, and I quote, "You will just embrace life with all your heart and soul. Once you've attained this very high state, your energy level will be phenomenal. You will have all the energy you need at all times. Just relax and open, and tremendous energy will rush up inside of you, and you are only limited by your ability to stay open." You join me for a time of meditation? Let's go ahead and just relax into your seat. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel the seat underneath of you. And just notice that you are being breathed. Notice your breathing. As you notice your breathing, you are the one being aware of your breathing. Notice any body sensations you might be having. And notice that you are the one noticing those body sensations. Are you warm or cool? Is a part of your body talking to you? Just notice, and notice that you are the one being aware of those sensations. Notice the sounds in the room, the music, perhaps a bird outside the window, someone adjusting to be comfortable in their chair, a rustle. And notice that you are the one being aware of all of that. And as you disentangle yourself from that which you are not, and become more fully aware of who you are, who you are having those experiences, being aware of those experiences. Know that right where you are, God is. Infinite, eternal presence is right where you are, as you, having this experience. Right where you are, wisdom is, love is, joy is, beauty is, harmony is, having this experience. And if something rises up in you that feels uncomfortable or narrows your focus, narrows your awareness, be aware of that and allow yourself to be aware of it. This allows you to step back into the seat of consciousness and let it be a passing experience. Oh, what a joy and a privilege to experience life in all the ways that it shows up. And you just get to be aware of all of it. Experience all of it. Open and free. And so it is.
This is in honor of Naomi Judd. I'd gladly walk across the desert with no shoes upon my feet, to share with you the last bite of bread I had to eat. I would swim out to save you in your sea of broken dreams. When all your hopes are sinking, let me show you what love means. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? I would whisper love so loudly every heart could understand that love and only love can join the tribes of men. I would give my heart's desire so that you might see. The first step is to realize that it all begins with you and me. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? When we stand together, it's our finest hour. We can do anything, anything. Keep believing in the power between your heart and mine, between your heart and mine, build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? heart and mind. Love and only love. Don't you think it's time?
For those who were here last week, I also want to publicly thank the Reverend Dr. Jennifer Lovejoy. My goodness gracious, how blessed we are. Giving options will appear on your screen. If you would like information about Unity in Lynnwood's program of regular or recurring giving, we call it the Giver's Circle, please contact Reverend Nina directly. If you would like information about legacy giving, please contact me directly with our thanks. I've created a giving card for you. It offers a teaching about the cycle of giving and receiving. It offers 5 points. I will offer one of them to you today. It reads as follows: understand your giving as a prayer. Okay? The others are understand your giving as an investment, as a vote, as a practice, as energy itself. For today, understand your giving as a prayer, whether writing a check for groceries or clicking a donation button. Give purely. Take this with me. Give purely. Well, no, you don't have to say it. Just... But give purely, give unconditionally, give faithfully as an affirmation of your trust in divine sufficiency. There is a spiritual practice around giving. If you choose to leave a paper gift, there is a bowl located in the foyer upon your exit. Without using any words, what I like to do, if I begin to feel constriction, I touch. If I feel my heart closing, I simply touch. Will you try it with me? Touch. Sometimes for me, I get a sense of it here. Oh my goodness, that gut feeling. Many times I might describe it as fear, but as a reminder, I just touch and breathe. So without using any words, if you're comfortable doing so, will you, oh, he's being adventurous today, will you touch the very heart chakra of you and communicate the message of gratitude to someone else in this room without using any words? Will you do that with me? Communicate gratitude without any words. And find someone else and communicate gratitude without words.
Gratitude to the left of me.
Yet another.
Gratitude to the right of me. Gratitude above me. Gratitude below me. Gratitude within me. Gratitude all around me. I am so grateful. I am so grateful. I am so grateful. I am so grateful. I am so grateful.
Thank you for the gift of unity in Lynnwood. If you are new to Unity in Lynnwood, if you are newer to Unity in Lynnwood, or newer to Unity in general, we have materials to support you. Check the chair back in front of you. If you're on the front row, then you really have to change seats, basically, I think is where we are in that conversation. But check the chair back in front of you for materials designed to support you and welcome you. Grab a Finding Yourself at Unity in Lynnwood booklet at the Welcome and Information Station, or have a conversation with Walayn Sharples, who is one of our ambassadors on duty this morning. Following her service behind the camera, and then I believe she's making cookies and parking cars, you will find her at the Welcome and Information Station. She would be delighted to answer any questions you might have. Building consciousness, knowledge, and skills in any endeavor begins with learning the basics. The foundations of Unity class, all are welcome. The licensed Unity teacher, Karen Breen James, offers this experience 5 Tuesdays, 2 hours per Tuesday, beginning Tuesday, May 3rd, running through May 31st. Study lessons in truth, discover the power within you, and other historical texts as you learn how to integrate the foundational principles into daily life. On the 7th of May, that's this Saturday, how time flies, join the women of Unity in Lynnwood for a visit to the Seattle Japanese Tea Garden. Finish with lunch. Leave Unity in Lynnwood around 9 o'clock in the morning, return around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There are nominal admission charges, and shuttle transportation is available to you on a first-come basis. Visit unityinlynnwood.org's calendar page to register. And on the 21st, you have a busy small group ministry, dear friends. On Saturday the 21st, join the social group at 10 o'clock a.m. for an event they call Wandering Whidbey. Predictably, during this trip, you will wander Whidbey. You'll visit the Price Sculpture Garden, lunch on the island, and return over Deception Pass. From your Board of Trustees, we thank all from the random pool who participated in our recent survey. Your responses revealed a wide array of experiences, opinions, desires, priorities, and needs. And we believe this prayerful update to best represent our complex responsibilities, which include our careful consideration of your valued voices. Effective Sunday, May 8th. Masks will become optional at UIL events and gatherings, including Sundays 11 o'clock adult services and 11 o'clock youth services. Also starting May 8th, a masks required 9 o'clock a.m. adult service will be available to those who desire as much for any reason. This policy, you absolutely may applaud. Your Board of Trustees deserves your gratitude through applause. This policy will be reviewed again on May 12th. If you have questions or comments, join us for a second town hall to be held following this service on the 15th of May. It will be a positive, loving, cooperative time of authentic community. Community, you see, defined as it all too often is, as a bunch of people who agree, or a bunch of people who see the world the same way. I would challenge that and suggest that community is a group of people who agree to love each other, and that our differing perspectives, that our differing experiences, that our differing viewpoints are not to be rejected, they are to be embraced. They are to be embraced as having the potential to somehow make us better. Community is people who stay at the table in love. Town Hall 2, the 15th, at the table in love. We good? Take a deep breath with me. Close the outer eyes yet again. Oh, thank you, Reverend Nina Clark. You have launched my week in holy reflection. So I take a breath. And I close in similar fashion to how I began. And that is by acknowledging that dimension that would defy any name we would assign, for it is beyond human words. And yet, because we gather in buildings such as this, on mornings such as this, we choose to assign, let's say, the name God. Let us begin our weeks by reminding ourselves that that dimension we name God is at hand, that it's fully active, vibrantly pressing itself forth, for it can be no other way. For me, then, I launched the remainder of my week by reminding myself that the wisdom I seek is at hand, that the life which I intuit as being the reality of existence is never in absence, that the sufficiency for the creation of God to sustain itself in harmony and balance longs to be realized. And so even amidst any experience to the contrary, I open to all that I hold God to be. Amidst any experience to the contrary, I open to wisdom. I open to sufficiency. I open to life. I open to harmony. And in this consciousness we might call faithful, we can now say, use me. From this consciousness we can now say, thy holy will be done in me, through me, as me. We close our time together as we always do with sung words of blessing, with sung words of farewell.
May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure